This Saturday, March 1st, residents in Tucson are holding the first ever Maketopolis event in the city. The goal is to highlight a growing movement around the world in which people are joining forces to build things, objects they want or need in their lives. Next, we'll take you to a couple of places that are helping creative and curious residents accomplish their goals, with the added benefit of helping the environment. The historic Bates Mansion in downtown Tucson used to be home to a private club, but now this building is welcoming members of the public from all types of different backgrounds. This is where you can find the Maker House. It's a cooperative organization for people who want to make things, learn new skills, or add to their education.
The service is really, you have an idea and we show you how to execute it.
Matt Rios has always been interested in crafting and creating. He even used to teach free welding classes in his own backyard. But now he's working at the Maker House as the program manager. Rios says there are plenty of things you can learn here, but one of the most popular attractions focuses on this laser printer. It's a state-of-the-art machine that allows its users to incorporate modern technology with tried and tested ideas. Would you like a logo for your company, for example? With the proper training and materials, you can transfer that computer image to a piece of wood that you can hang or give as a present. Or perhaps you can engrave it on your mobile telephone case and carry it in your pocket.
This is completely cut on the laser.
Rio says whatever the object might be, many people are attracted to making it themselves.
The maker community it's exploding across the U.S. right now. My personal belief of why these are popping up so quickly is because you have arts and trade classes and things like that being cut from public schools every day. And the community needs those things. And so now what's happening is people are putting a bunch of tools in a room with someone there that can teach other people how to do it. And it's organically coming up that way.
And he says there are environmental benefits as well. Many items that may have been thrown away and ended up in a landfill are forming the building blocks for new creations. This bicycle rack at the Maker House's patio is a case in point. Volunteers worked on it with BICAS, another organization that teaches valuable skills. BICAS contributed bicycle frames, rims, and other materials.
We put this thing together. We had no idea what it was going to look like when we started, and just started laying things out. And BICAS had a lot of creative input, since this is kind of what they do down there, and it's fantastic. It came out great.
Across the street from the Maker House, the Xerocraft Makerspace is also committed to learning by doing.
And these are the basics of a lot of the robotics that are used these days.
This warehouse is being used by inventors and builders. Hackers in the traditional sense, not what you may have heard when referring to computer hackers who break into other people's accounts.
It's more of the old term of when you hack something together, where you make something work. Or you put something together that wasn't meant to be together in the first place and get it to do something you want it to do, whether it's repairing something or making something new.
And there are plenty of options here. They run the gamut from traditional to modern.
The Hackerspace is designed to provide a lot of tools and resources available for people to use.
Dale Tercey is one of the group's founding members.
So this is our 3D printing area. What we have here is an ultraviolet printer. The ultraviolet printer uses an ultraviolet projection from below and an ultraviolet setting polymer fluid. It's very much like what the dentist uses when they make fillings these days that are non-metallic. They hit it with an ultraviolet light and solidify it. A classic example of the 3D image that they print is this plastic bust that was one of our members. Now this is part of our electronics area where we basically maintain a lot of our diagnostic tools and our equipment for building various electronic circuits, teaching people how to build circuits, modify circuits. This is a metal shop. We have a wonderful old Bridgeport mill for actually milling metal into shapes of what you might want to build for tools and gearing and all sorts of other parts. We have a wonderful 1950s vintage lathe that will do pieces of steel up to 36 inches long.
Other classes include a wood shop and even beer making lessons in a small kitchenette. As in similar spaces elsewhere around the nation, one of the philosophies involves upcycling. recycling materials to create useful items.
We get lots of donations, and we try and put everything we can to use. We get donations of like these air pumps, and we have this a little water cooler here that we took apart because it's got usable parts in it, and these are just available for people to use, to complete their projects.
Jeremy Brittle also likes to make things, so when he heard about this group in 2012, he decided to get involved. While attending the weekly steering meetings for Xerocraft Hackerspace, Brittle heard there was an opening for treasurer of the board, so he jumped on the opportunity.
I had heard of hackerspaces before, and I thought they were really cool. And I wanted to start one of my own, but I knew absolutely no one who would be interested in doing it. And then when I found out that there was one in Tucson already, I thought, oh, that's amazing. I have to be a part of this.
Back at the Maker House, Matt Rios is excited about the building your own enthusiasm. He says it's allowing participants to get more acquainted with each other and their communities. For example, most of the beer you can buy here is local, as are the bakery items and even the music in this jukebox. After all, the musicians are also creators, musical builders who are crafting compositions for others to enjoy.
It's only local music. If you're not from Southern Arizona, you don't get in the box. And people have had a blast coming in, and they're exploring the local sound of Tucson because they're just, we'll have people come in, just randomly punch in numbers now just to explore something new.
Now we are joined by a couple of guests who have more information about the Maketopolis event this Saturday, March 1st. Vanessa Ford is the executive director of the Maker House, and Connor Barrickman is the president and co-founder of Xerocraft. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's begin with a little bit of the history of each of these two organizations. Vanessa, what about the Maker House? What would you like to say?
Maker House was founded last April-ish when we got the idea to put it together. We opened in October of 2013, and we're on a roll.
Okay, and it seems to be growing. We'll talk about the membership and the growth. And what about you, Connor? What would you like to say about Xerocraft?
Xerocraft is a Makerspace, hackerspace organization founded in 2011, really grassroots organization, started out of a shed in downtown Tucson and has continued to grow and expand and gain support.
Okay, so obviously we're talking about people who are making things or making things at the moment. So you brought a couple of items here, Vanessa. What do you want to tell us about the one that is closest to me right here first?
This was made by our coffee bar manager, Allie Holler. He likes to call himself the Martha Stewart of hacking. So this is a repurposed spice rack for electrical components. He's got a key up here that tells him where everything is. Somebody from Raytheon was in the other day and said, wow, that's really brilliant.
So simple yet brilliant,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. And then this was made by our program manager, Matt Rios, out of a recycled lamp base, recycled vanity parts, and of course, recycled bones.
Okay, and Connor, what would you like to say about the object you have there in front of you?
I brought in a piece of found art that one of our members has put together. So this started as some metal scrap from the scrapyard, and they brought it in and welded and plasma cut and manipulated this into this beautiful metal rose.
Okay, and you also have a board with some other examples as well?
So here's some more found art. This started as copper roof flashing, and one of our members put together these molds and then pressed them together in a hydraulic press and came up with these fascinating pieces of art.
Okay, great. So let's talk about the environmental benefits of people who are making things on their own. Vanessa and Connor, obviously not everything can be new, and not everything can be used, and people have to get new items in order to make their objects, but it seems like more and more people are paying attention to the possibility of recycling?
Absolutely, and I think more and more people looking at objects that would normally go into the landfill and saying, okay, how can I extend this beyond its original purpose? How can I take its component parts, break those out, and use them in my projects?
Okay, and Connor, what about that concept of recycling or reusing items?
Yeah, the recycling and upcycling, taking stuff that was destined for the scrapyard and using it in a way that it wasn't designed is, one of the core values of the maker movement, and it's something that we all find very, very important.
So let's talk about that maker movement. Was it this popular a few years ago? Honestly, I have to confess, this is about the last couple of months is when I first heard about it. And but it's thriving in other cities as well? Connor, let's hear it from you.
Yes, so we've taken a page out of the San Francisco book that the maker movement really saw a resurgence in San Francisco and has grown across the country and really takes on the local flavor. So each little maker community is representative of its city.
And what about you, Vanessa? What would you like to say about that? And was there a discussion that you had, let's do something like that, or did it just come up from normal
Well, the maker
people?
movement actually has been around for about 10 years now. It's in response to the fact that our educational system is still an industrial age model, and we're now in the information age. And what employers are looking for are people who can look at systems, analyze and understand complete systems, and that's what the maker movement helps us do. We can go in, learn how to build something, and then understand that system as a whole. And the more you work with systems and understand them, the more you can apply them.
Okay. And Connor, you're a mechanical engineer, so how satisfying is it for you to see other people trying to make things, maybe not as good as a mechanical engineer, but...
No, it is great. Unfortunately, a lot of the standard mechanical engineer, they don't get their hands on stuff. They don't get to make things. They don't get to put stuff together. And to see people coming in and doing this applied technology and applied sciences is something else.
And philosophically, what do you think about this whole movement, Vanessa?
I think it's wonderful. I watch my 16-year-old daughter go from, I don't know anything about technology, to the last 6 months or so she's been exposed to this, and now she knows quite a bit. Now she's excited about it. It doesn't scare her anymore. And that's, I think, part of what people need to understand is that you're a maker no matter what you make. If you bake a cake, you're understanding that cake's system. If you crochet, you understand patterns and the system. So you need to, I think, move beyond the fear to getting your hands dirty and understanding that you can do things like that.
Do you find that it's good for the soul, good for the mind, for self-esteem?
Absolutely. I mean, it's really empowering to have people come in and do something that they never thought they could do, whether they wouldn't have access to those tools or instruction on how to do that task. So it's great to see.
All right, and then finally, before we go, let's talk about Maketopolis,
Yes.
the event, when and where?
It's March 1st, 10 to 4 in downtown Tucson. It's going to be in Xerocraft at Maker House and in the Franklin parking lot, which is right between the two of us.
And that's right by the railroad tracks, right?
That's correct.
Okay, well, excellent, and it's free and open to the public.
Free and open to the public.
All right, well, thank you very much, Vanessa and Connor, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.